Hello, welcome to the Heart of the Matter. Today we're focusing on women in business and how they can be successful in business. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you.
We went to the Reg Charles Foundation CEO Roundtable discussions, and we were privileged to listen to Dr. Obi Ezekwesili speak. She talked about one of the challenges women face in business, and she mentioned access to finance. But what was very interesting to note was she said the first thing you should focus on as opposed to financing is your value proposition. So what is your value proposition? What problem are you willing to solve? So for me, that was interesting because you find that a lot of people always give the excuse that they don't have money to start a business. But the first thing you need to think about is, okay, what problems can I solve? And you know, in Nigeria, there's so many, well, I like to call them opportunities, you know. So for me, that was key. We also, we were actually meant to interview Dr. Obi, but she had to rush off. So we interviewed Mrs. Ini Onuk, the CEO of Thistle Practice Consulting, which focuses on CSR. That was a very, very engaging interview, and we would be showing that to our viewers. We also spoke to the founder of Reg Charles, and one of the things he does is he provides financing for small businesses. So they give you money to, you know, start your business or to grow your business with certain terms and conditions. We also spoke to an entrepreneur who is in the pharmaceutical business. Okay.
Oh, and you know, what was your impression of the overall conference? Do you think that women benefited from having a conference and being able to listen to people advise them? What do you think?
I think it was a very good initiative. I wish it was a lot bigger. I wish there were more people invited. I wish there was more publicity as well, because for me, listening to someone like Dr. Obi is a privilege. And she gave some very, very key points that would help anyone in business. And I believe all the women there would have benefited one way or the other. So I think we need to do more, need more forums like this, because gone are the days where a man is the sole provider of the home. Now with the state of the economy, you need two incomes. So, and women need to be encouraged. They need to be educated as well, because they need to learn a lot of things about business. And it's good to learn from people that, you know, have a lot of knowledge, have gone to not everyone has the opportunity to go to some of the best business schools. So listening to people like that is a rare privilege, and I think everyone should be able to benefit from that.
So, let's take a look at the interviews. Stay tuned, back in a moment.
More than 50% of this economy is government. The private sector is still paying compared to what it could be. So a lot of the resources that get spent, public finance. So knowledge would require you to understand the budget process and the budget. The ABC of public budget. Because then you would understand, where is government money going?
Could you please tell us a little bit about the roundtable we're having today?
Yeah, you know, this is an initiative of the foundation and will be done once a year.
Okay.
Next year is the next one.
Okay.
Simple. Get successful business women to come and encourage entrepreneurs, women and youth. Share experiences, teach them how best to run a sustainable business, and again create partnerships that they will be able to harness, network. So the value we're trying to create today is to give you that encouragement. The value is to showcase what women has achieved as entrepreneurs, and at the same time give you opportunity to meet high-level entrepreneurs in your field and connect with them. That's what it is all about.
What are some of the challenges you have faced in running your business?
The regular challenges, you know, we have power, and then we have, you know, availability to funds. You know. The challenge is when people talk about having challenges or facing challenges in growing businesses, they're not challenges that you cannot handle. They're just issues that you have to go around. I'll give you an example. Power is a challenge, but I was able to get an inverter. So I don't have so much of that challenge anymore because I've been able to deal with it. But if I had more lights, I would feel better. But yes.
And it will also reduce your costs.
And
as
it
well.
will also definitely reduce my costs.
What are some of the challenges that women face in doing business in Nigeria?
Whoops. One is our environment, the African way. A woman is meant to be under a man, and so we find that women who want to achieve great things must need the support of their spouse. Where you are single, it will be seen as you're becoming overzealous. So in that fear, you try to reduce the power of influence. The second one is that you find out that some women don't really have that zeal to drive good businesses. They want to rely on what another person does. They have the fear of failures, and that makes it impossible for them to just drive their initiatives. So one of the second problem is the lack of zeal to drive their initiatives. The third challenge a woman has, there's a limit to the kind of business a woman can drive successfully. So you find them not getting involved in some highly stressful business motives and models that makes them to do the small aspect of businesses, and with that they cannot dominate the economy. Another challenge they have is, which I believe is the final one, is you find out that a woman has a limit to the level of business he can drive. There's a limit to the level of business he can grow. Most women you see in big organizations are just occupying a position of appointment. The organization has been built. They are just made the MD CEO. But it's difficult to see a woman that will drive a business from the moment it's established to the summit where it will peak. They lack that kind of strength to do that.
In Nigeria, it's beautiful that aside from the fact that we are a developing nation, it's very comforting a lot of times to know that Nigerians are up and about. We're not exactly people who wait for our government to do things for us. So we have people who come up with solutions every time to try and make our environment better. Like for example, the person who gave an inverter is an independent distributor. He had his own business. So there's a lot of people walking around who offer solutions and offer help on how to make a business better. And we try as much as possible to take advantage of entrepreneurs all around us who offer solutions. I hope I answered the question.
Oh yes, you did. What are some of the solutions to these problems?
Very simple. One, a woman should be made to understand that she's human and she can do better than what a fellow man does. Women-owned businesses should get tremendous support from government. Multiple taxes, what are those things for? I get a bit worried when I observe taxes are levied on businesses that you don't even know how they will survive. You see a woman who started a furniture making company. The day she hoists her signage, you see over 50 different institutions coming to demand for money. These things reduce the zeal and ultimately affects reduction of poverty. So government should support women-owned businesses. 3, women should seek partnerships with some male-owned businesses so that they can drive the dream together. There is a limit to what a woman can do. And finally, there should be consistent partnership programs, networking programs with international organizations, with successful entrepreneurs that will keep driving that initiative, because a woman is very important in everything we do in life. If a woman is not involved, might not succeed. I tell you that. So there's need for us to harness that opportunity with them and stop seeing them as, wow, this is the gender thing, this is that. No, it's not right.
Okay.
Try and look at the bigger picture. You need a woman to partner with and grow your business. Yeah.
There will always be gender-related issues, but then also I don't think it's much of a problem.
Okay.
Because our parents faced it, our mothers faced it, our grandmothers faced it. The successful women today who faced it and overcame it. So I don't think it's about the gender, it's about the mindset. Whether you're a woman or a man, I think you can be successful regardless of your gender, but there's just something special about women. You know, we were able to multitask. There's so much women have to offer. They're more colorful than men, let's put it that way. You know, so when yes, you have situations where you're not, if maybe you're in a situation and maybe if you were a man, you would have been more credible, but because you're a woman, everybody's wondering if you can do, you know, what you present yourself as saying you can do, you know. But society has, women have told the story over and over again that we are strong and that we can do anything we set our mind to do. You know, so issues with gender are there, but they're not issues that cannot be overcome. They're just little obstacles that, you know, can be handled. And I don't think in any way it has, you know, it prevents progress with the way society is developing.
I discovered that when you unleash a woman, the woman becomes better. And again, I've had interactions with great minds, especially ladies, both in the US and here in Nigeria. And I discovered that if you want poverty reduced, if you want the economy to grow, if you want everything to be well with the country, you must support women initiatives, especially as it leads to empowerment, entrepreneurship, and poverty reduction.
Okay.
That's it. So that's why I'm behind it.
Why is it important for women in business to take responsibility for the society they operate in?
I think it's not just women. I think everybody, an organization, big or small, individual. And one of the things that I always say is that we've lost what I call the communal responsibility that we had, which was our first individual social responsibility. Okay. I remember there were days, times before now where, and I think that was what led to us having this Saturday, last Saturday of the month environmental. And that was where it started from, where individuals and communities had a sense of concern about their environment. And so people come out. So you see small gated communities, they come out on a particular day, the men and women, they're cleaning the environment, they're filling potholes and things like that, because they had a sense of responsibility that if this went bad, it was going to affect us. And I think that we lost that. So be women, be men that are in business, be it small organizations or medium-sized or large organizations, we have a responsibility, and it's called the social license to operate. The license that the community within which we do business gives us. I always like to explain it to say that if, for example, you don't do something about potholes in front of your business premises, and there's the kind of flood we've been experiencing these days, and it takes over your premises, you can't open for business. So whichever way you like it, either the community itself or even the natural elements can work against you if we don't take clear cognizance of our role in ensuring that our society, our community, the environment is at par with what we do.
There's a misconception that you have to be a multinational like Shell or Mobil to begin to, take care of your all the stakeholders in your society. So how does a woman who starts a small business begin? How does she go about it?
I think that clearly small businesses have a responsibility, just like large businesses or multinationals have a responsibility. And for women-owned businesses, I always want to look at the realities of our lives as women. So whether we're daughters, whether we're mothers, whether we're wives, or whether we're sisters, each of these realities revolve around our lives as who we are. And these are the realities we bring into our business. So you find that even in dealing with our employees, we're dealing either with them as sisters or as mothers or whichever way. But I think that the reality within which we can be responsible is taking a conscious decision as women to use this as a point of changing the way we do business. Entrepreneurs generally are entrepreneurs, be they male or female. But I think that the difference that women can bring to bear is the realities of who we are, and which comes with the passion, which comes with the care, which comes with the nurturing that we are. I think we can translate that into how we relate with the communities and how we showcase our individual social responsibility.
Okay. If entrepreneurs feel that access to financing is a problem to start their business, setting aside funds for, to be able to be for initiatives such as CSR initiatives may be a bit daunting for them.
I think I need to break it down, and that's in two parts. The first one would be the access to finance. I think that part of the problem that entrepreneurs generally, particularly small businesses that are starting up, normally have is this understanding that because I have an idea and I've started this business, so I should get access to finance. I think quite a lot of things go into it. Number one, and which is what Dr. Ezekwesili also mentioned, was that your idea must be sellable. It must be a solution. It must be something that is investable. For you to have the kind of investment, whether it's even as loans into the business. And part of the problem that small businesses have, and they have a lot of issues with access to finance, is they don't even have structures. They don't even think that they need structures. Most of them don't keep proper books. So if I give you a loan, when you don't keep your books properly, how are you going to be able to repay the loan? How are you going to use the loan to grow the business and then be able to repay it and then be able to show a trajectory of growth over a period of time so that you can get bigger loans? So these are some of the challenges. I think access to finance has gotten better, particularly in the Nigerian banking sector, because now you have a lot of banks coming up with products for you hear a lot of SME banking for small businesses. So small businesses can actually access small loans according to the size that they are capable of doing. So it's gotten better over time. Gone were the days where we had one or two banks just having access to particular women products. Now, beyond just the women products, you also have products that are available for very small businesses to access little amount of loan from 2.5 million to 5 million naira, depending on their capability. So the challenges are the businesses capable of even taking these loans? Do they have what the banks are looking for? I think that gone are the days where people used to say you look for huge collaterals. Now the products have been broken down to the extent that you can't get little loans, but you need to be able to show the capability to take these loans. On the other part of being able to put away funds, because not having a lot of funds, it goes back to the heart of what I say CSR is. Gone are the days where we used to think CSR is something you do when you have made profit, everything is fine. At the end of the year, you want to be nice, so you buy a few bags. No. It's the way you do business. It's your ethical concerns. What are the values that the business considers? And what's the governance structure like? Is it a father, mother, sister business? Is it something that you take your fuel money from the business? You don't know. What kind of business is it? It's how you do business. That's a corporate, the responsibility of a corporate organization, be it a small business or a big business. How do you treat your staff? Because what you are inside as a business is what you give out. What are your interests? So is it education? So if you're going to paint schools or give books or build libraries, are you growing your staff in terms of helping them to grow their potential? If you're looking at healthcare, does it relate to what you do as a business? So you want to give drugs to hospitals. What about the training for nurses? So it's not just about being a big organization. It's about what are your core values as a business, and how can you do that? Some small businesses can start small in terms of trying to teach maybe the streets where they operate how to do recycling. So you don't need to spend money to do CSR. You can relate it to what you do as a business and then be able to show how socially responsible you are.
On a final note, what advice do you have to our female viewers on doing business in Nigeria?
So the advice I have with them is don't ever lose your goal. Don't lose your zeal. Don't lose your ideas. Put them into practice. You will surely succeed. Put them into practice. You will succeed. And Reg Charles is always there to support you. So work in and Let's discuss.
Men and women face the same challenges in growing business. You know, it's about perseverance, it's about staying power. It's about waking up in the morning and doing what you have to do, regardless of whether you feel like doing it or, you know, or you're able to do it, because, you know, there's just a lot of opposition. I like to tell people sometimes that life is like a stream that goes downhill. So like, you know, a stream, water flows easily downhill, and when it's downhill, it can take everything along with it and flow. But people who are successful are people who are able to stand up and say, I'm going upstream. So you have to push against the tide, you have to push against the normal flow of life and make progress. You know, so I'll say the secret to my success is God. I'm a Christian, you know, so I pray a lot. I believe in God's guidance, and then I'm persistent. I stay, you know, when I have anything to do, I stay on it. And I just keep pushing, even at the pharmacy sometimes, you know, there are issues, but you just keep pushing, keep pushing. I met Obi Ezekwesili at the conference, and she told me something. She said, don't settle, don't ever settle. Just keep pushing.
I think for me, the advice would be the advice that I didn't get when I went into business. A lot of people, and I think I mentioned that when I was speaking this morning, a lot of people leave their 9-to-5 jobs and think that, look, it's time for me to do my own thing. Everybody's becoming an entrepreneur and all that. One of the things I have learned is that not everybody should be an entrepreneur. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. We have all sorts of entrepreneurs, everybody wanting to do their own thing. But the truth of the matter is, it takes a lot to be a successful entrepreneur. And success, again, as I mentioned in the morning, depends on what you relate. For some people, success will be being able to buy a big car. And for some people, it's the staying power of growing the business over a period of time and being able to look back and say that, you know, we started small, but we've been able to grow this business to a point. So it's the ability to stay, it's the ability to be persistent, it's the ability to create impact with whatever you're doing. You must be filling a gap and creating solution with your business, so that it can add value to society. Another advice would be really that for most people to start small. A lot of people don't want to start small. A lot of people think that when they start their own business, within 1 year they should make money. There are some businesses that you can make money within 6 months or 1 year. But for others, you may need to stay the course over a period of time to be able to build credibility, to be able to build trust, to be able to build the foundation that people want to see, to trust you with their services and to trust you with paying you for that service. So I think that would be my advice.
Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter. We hope you enjoyed those interviews and learned a lot. In closing, there were 5 realities that Dr. Obi Ezekwesili spoke about and said every woman should know these realities. But for our viewers who do not know who she is, she trained in Deloitte. She also worked in the World Bank. She was a 2-time Minister of Education and Solid Minerals. And she's currently a senior economic advisor for a foundation that deals with, basically she advises 9 African heads of states. She spoke about 5 realities, and the first one she said is your reality as a unique individual in your own right. So you must know who you are, you must know what your life's vision and your life's purpose is as a woman. She also talks about your reality as a daughter. You know, she said leverage on, if you have a mom that's still alive or a spiritual mother, leverage on that relationship. And she quoted Esther, who took advice from Mordecai. The third reality is your reality as a sister. So we're all women, we're all sisters. We should remember we're each other's sister. And she spoke about Martha and Mary, who were valuable to Lazarus, and they helped, you know, call Jesus to heal him. She talked about your reality as a wife. As women, we must rediscover our marriages. We must know what our vision is for our marriages. We must, the other day, my husband and I, about 3 weeks ago, we attended a conference, The Awesome Treasures, Where Are the Real Men by Jumoke Adenuwa. And we wrote our family vision. And, you know, it sort of really helped me because subconsciously in everything we do now, or I do now, I remember that vision. It sort of comes up, you know. So as families, women need to speak to their husbands and write down their family visions. And reality as a mom, we are mothers, so we must also take out time to invest in our children, to bring up, instill the right values in our children, to make sure the next generation is better off than we are. And she said, a woman who understands these 5 realities will be able to play them in a way she finds equilibrium. You don't have to trade off one for the other, so they can all work together and be manifest in your life.
I've always enjoyed listening to Dr. Obi Ezekwesili because she has a profound understanding of so many things. So it's been really a great privilege for us to be able to do what we can to help Nigerian women become the best that they can be. Viewers, we really hope you enjoyed this episode. It's been a delight bringing it to you, but we will be back next week with another episode of The Heart of the Matter. Until then, stay blessed.
The software that is contained in your hardware as a person to enable you unlock the solution that will be put forward for a market test.